watching NBC4, the Tri-State News Channel. And now, Felicia Taylor, Rob Morrison, and Aubrey Puente. This is News Channel 4, Weekend Today in New York.
Massive travel trouble for train passengers up and down the Northeast corridor.
And Americans strike at silver in Salt Lake City on the first day of competition at the Winter Olympics. Good morning, I'm Felicia Taylor. It's all quiet on the Western Front, but later today, Americans will turn their sights toward Olympic gold. That's
right. Today marks the second day of competition in Salt Lake City. And if yesterday is any indication of what's to come for Americans, things could turn to gold later on today for Team USA. NBC's Tracy Potts joins us live now from Salt Lake. Tracy, good morning.
Rob, good morning. It was a pretty good first day for Team USA with those 2 silver medals and the possibility of another medal today. Now, let me tell you about the 2 silver medalists. The first one was Shannon Barkey, and she received a silver medal in the women's moguls. That's the ski competition where you see them doing a lot of back-to-back sliding down those big hills. They have to do a lot of turns. It's really fast. She won a silver medal, and it's very interesting because the athletes themselves, despite all of their training and hopes, seem surprised themselves that they won. She actually overcame very serious illness about 2 years ago. Doctors said that she wouldn't be able to compete at all. And obviously she did, and she did very well. Now, the second silver medal was won by Derek Para. That was in speed skating. And again, he seemed quite surprised. This was not something that he expected. He didn't expect to do quite that well, but he did place second. And so now he's going to be going on to a couple of other races. Meantime, looking forward to today, the U.S. could possibly get its very first medal in a couple of other skiing events. One of them, Todd Lodwick, he placed 7th in the ski jump. And he's hoping that if he does just as well in the next jump, he could possibly be the first American contender to get a medal in that event. America has never won a medal in the ski jump, so that's something that we've got to look forward to today. Back to you, Felicia.
Tracy, what's the second part of the Nordic competition? The Nordic competition being those ski jump that we saw yesterday. And there's a second part to that, isn't there?
Right, the cross country. And the interesting thing is a lot of times athletes are very good on one end and not quite as good on the other end, not quite as strong on the cross country. In Lodwick's situation, he was very pleased to do well in the ski jump because he's not quite as strong in cross country. And so that's something that he's really going to have to work hard on if he's hoping to get a medal.
All right, thanks, Tracy. Tracy Potts reporting for us from Salt Lake City. Amtrak is scrambling this morning to get its service back on track. Service is suspended on some lines because of downed electrical wires. McGee Hickey is live at Penn Station with the very latest this morning. Good morning, McGee, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Felicia. Well, there are major headaches, major delays, and major confusion here at Penn Station this morning. But as of 6 a.m., some, and we stress some, New Jersey Transit trains are running. The 532 pulled out on time here, but some Amtrak and New Jersey Transit trains are still delayed. You're about to see the scene inside at Penn Station this morning after thousands of Amtrak and New Jersey Transit riders were stranded after a freight train knocked down power lines near Linden, New Jersey last night. And while service had been suspended for New Jersey Transit riders on the Northeast Corridor and Coastline service, the Raritan Valley line has been restored. And as we said, there is partial restoration of some lines this morning. Riders coming to Penn Station going to Newark Airport should allow some extra time. It was a huge ordeal for some riders. Okay, so how long have you been waiting for a train?
9 hours. 9 hours here at the train station. And we came here this afternoon to see a matinee showing of Phantom of the Opera. And we've been at the train station for 9 hours waiting for our New Jersey Transit.
And you're about to get it, I think.
Hopefully. We're not sure.
And we're happy to report she did get on the 532 this morning after waiting 9 hours at Penn Station. And we're grateful she came into the city to see a show after all. If you're worried about train service right now, you should check to see if the trains are running on time. Call the New Jersey Transit at this number, 973-491-7400. And for Amtrak, 1-800-USA-RAIL. Reporting live from Penn Station, McGee Hickey, News Channel 4. Back to you, Felicia.
McGee, I'll take it. Thank you very much. A Muslim business owner in the Borough Park section of Brooklyn is accusing a Jewish competitor of some moves that are far from kosher. Kendra Farn reports on what is being described as a case of mob-like intimidation.
When Mike Karamegaloo began construction last year on his 13th Avenue store, he says he quickly had a demand from the owners of Fruit Plaza 5 doors down, Rachel and Lee Reichman, buy us out or else. Then he says came threatening phone calls from the couple that he recorded. This one he claims from Mr. Reichman.
I will try to do everything I can to make sure you don't have enough business to last for a month, or you'll bury every cent you have there.
It's worked. The Turkish immigrant owes $12,000 to Con Ed, among other bills, and his business has gone from $20,000 a day to $1,000 a day. The result of a malicious campaign, his lawsuit alleges, by the Reichmans, rabbis, and others in this Hasidic community.
They grab my customers with full shopping carts. They stop the customers saying that, hey, you are not buying fruit, vegetables here. These kids make money, and he buys bombs for Israel. This guy's a terrorist, he's an Arab.
These are the flyers, he says, have been circulated with pictures of the burning Twin Towers. One instructing Jews that the Torah forbids them from buying from Kosher Garden. Another with specials on non-kosher items like meat baked in milk. His Jewish lawyer is appalled.
I couldn't believe that it was something that was actually occurring, and I had to check it many times because it was unbelievable to me.
Karamegaloo has even had police protection, fearing for his safety.
But these things happen, I lost my everything. And I see nightmares every night.
That's not fair. Why didn't you tell somebody you want to record us? It's not fair.
At Fruit Plaza, a screaming customer, but no Reichmans. No one answered the door at their home, and when we called, their daughter said they weren't available and simply took our phone number. 12 suppliers who stopped selling Kosher Garden were also named in the lawsuit. 6 are now back doing business. And while this lawsuit plays itself out in court, the owner of the store, who lives in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, says he will be forced to close his doors in the next 2 weeks. Reporting in Borough Park, Kendra Farn for Weekend Today in New York.
Israeli troops have made what they call a preemptive strike in the West Bank town of Nablus. Israel's military says it searched buildings and arrested Palestinians in an attempt to foil suspected terrorist attacks. 2 Palestinians were seriously wounded during heavy fire near a refugee housing camp housing Palestinian militants.
Later this morning, Mayor Bloomberg is expected to visit the new family viewing platform at Ground Zero. Saturday, he attended his first funeral of the World Trade Center firefighter since he took office. Bloomberg paid his respects at services for Lieutenant Kevin Pfeiffer in Middle Catholic Church. Pfeiffer was from Engine Company 33. The mayor had been criticized for missing 5 previous funerals.
The Garden State is offering to help families of World Trade Center victims through bureaucratic red tape. Governor James McGreevey met in New Brunswick yesterday with some of the victims' relatives about his new family assistance program. The program will provide advocates to help families navigate the logjam of applications, phone calls, and other problems. It will also help families get financial assistance from charities, the federal government, and insurance companies. The project is underwritten by corporate donations.
A former top Taliban official is now in U.S. custody. He's the Taliban's former foreign minister and the highest-ranking Taliban official to turn himself in. U.S. authorities are now questioning him in Kandahar about the whereabouts of Osama bin Laden. A senior defense official tells NBC News they hope other Taliban leaders will also surrender.
Asian longhorned beetles are threatening to destroy trees in Central Park. Mayor Bloomberg says 2 infested maple trees have already been chopped down. They were in Central Park's nature sanctuary near the Duck Pond and 59th Street. The female beetle lays its eggs in the bark, and the hatched larva tunnels deep inside.
Reason it's such a sad thing is the only thing that you can really do when you find an infested tree is cut it down, chop it up, and burn it.
Experts now checking every tree. Half of Central Park's 26,000 trees are vulnerable to these beetle attacks. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Definitely. Time.
She's just trying to lay her eggs. I mean, you know, is it really an attack?
I think you have a point there, Audrey. I really do.
I'm just going to stay away from this.
Okay. Yep. We know it's not good for the trees. We are going to see pretty much lousy weather this afternoon, it looks like. Unfortunately, I don't have any good news in that department. Yesterday was beautiful. I hope you got out and enjoyed it, because this afternoon we're going to see rain move into the tri-state area. Or you could say it that way, Felicia. Let's look outside right now. We're starting to see some clouds begin to filter in. Live with the sky cam, it's pretty quiet on the roadways. We are reporting some clouds coming in, but some areas are still a little bit clear. Currently outside our studios, we're saying it's cloudy. Currently, it's also 42 degrees. Not too bad for the morning hours, 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday in February. Right now, the winds are light and variable. Humidity a little bit up there at 89%. Barometer's falling, but it's strong at 30.49 inches. Temperatures are anywhere from 40s along New York City, Islip, and Newark to the 30s as you head into White Plains and Stamford. And we even have 20s farther up into the Hudson Valley with 27 degrees up towards Newburgh. Well, it's pretty quiet around the northeast this morning, but we're starting to see the clouds come in from the west, all ahead of a storm system that's just starting to edge its way into our picture, just edging its way into the Ohio River Valley. It's all part of a larger system that's bringing some snow on the back end around Wisconsin and Iowa this morning. It's bringing rain through Chicago, heading into Indianapolis this morning. It'll be moving towards the east, probably edging its way into New York State over the next 6 hours, and should be moving into our area, looks like sometime later on this evening. Now, for the day today, we'll expect increasing clouds, but the good news is we're going to see a milder day. Yesterday was a little bit cooler, where highs were in the 40s. This afternoon, though, we'll be closing in on the 50-degree mark before the cold front pushes through by tomorrow morning. And then it's going to turn blustery and much colder for Monday. Let's look at the forecast in detail for today. We'll see a high of 50 degrees in the city. Increasing clouds will be the theme throughout the day today. And then tonight, rain will develop, and it will be heavy at times, especially overnight into the early morning hours. Then looking at the next 5 days, we could see some early morning showers on Monday before the system moves out by midday. Sunshine returns by the afternoon. The big news on Monday, though, even though we see a high of 40, it'll be windy, and the winds will make it feel much colder than that. It should feel more like 30 degrees for Monday, so it'll be blustering cold by then. And for tonight,
it's not that bad. I mean, 50 degrees.
You know, we're still above normal, so we really can't complain. We've
50
had
degrees in February doesn't sound so bad to me.
We've had a really good winter. Yeah.
Thanks, Todd.
Okay,
Audrey. Up next, a look at what your kids may be asking for this Christmas.
And a look at what Olympians and tourists do to occupy their time after hours. You're watching Sunday Today in New York.
This portion of the news is brought to you by General Motors.
It's a new year, and what we all need now is a new beginning. So we invite the world to come and start over in Jamaica, because on this blessed island, every day is a new beginning. One love. Come to Jamaica. One heart. Come to life. Come to Jamaica and feel alright.
Prostitution.
My family doesn't know that I work for the escort service.
Every family's nightmare.
I'd feel ashamed.
Now a young woman will tell her brother the awful truth.
How long have you been doing this? Started when I was 15.
Plus, he spent years selling his body.
I felt like nobody loved me and I had no value.
Hear how this former Hollywood gigolo turned his life around.
There's proof that there is life after prostitution.
On the next Sally.
Monday at noon, only on NBC4.
Exclusive Heidi Fleiss, next extra. From her little black book to her Black Hawk Down boyfriend, the Hollywood madam is kissing and telling all. Then the NBA All-Star Game, courtside with Brittany, Enrique, and Jordan, of course. But will wife Juanita show? Plus, from boys to men, inside P. Diddy's fashion show. Also, meet the sexiest Olympian of all. And supermodel, rap star, who's our next celebrity mystery reporter? Next extra.
Monday at 7, only on NBC4.
Salt Lake City may be the capital of Utah, but Park City is apparently party central. And right about now, some of those stragglers may be making their way home. Here's Linda Beccaro with a sampling of the nightlife in this small, historic town.
Main Street in Park City is the place for food, fun, and festivity. Here, nightclubs like Harry O's don't even get going till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Robert Kapner lives in Greenwich Village.
It's got everything that New York's got, but just toned down about a couple notches.
Harry O's normally charges a $10 cover, and the crowds line up outside. But on the opposite end of Main Street, the opposite atmosphere at Renee's. Live music at a cozy wine bar, attracting lots of locals, plus tourists dropping by enjoying the nightlife.
just in walking down the streets, you hear a lot of different languages spoken, so it's clearly become a very international town in a very short period of time.
The bars here cater to all kinds of crowds and tastes, from your cozy, sophisticated lounge to a good old-fashioned saloon. The No Name Saloon is a raucous mix of jukebox and TV screens coupled with lots of alcohol. Places like this are not just bars, they're private clubs. But don't let the word private fool you.
You buy a membership.
How do you do that?
You just walk up to the bar and, you know, the bar of your choice, and just tell them that you want to become a member or a temporary member.
That allows club owners to serve you hard liquor and beer that's more than 3.2% alcohol. Last call is at 1 a.m., but that's plenty of time for fun.
Well, this is the first nightlife I've seen, but I mean the whole street's partying. People are like sliding down the street. There's really good spirits, and everybody's having fun. A lot of good-looking, healthy, you know, American people out having a good time.
To learn more about Park City and Salt Lake City, log on to our website at WNBC.com and click on the Olympic 2002 icon.
Well, it's never too early to put those birthday and Christmas wish lists together, and beginning today, toy vendors from around the country are showing their wares at the American International Toy Fair. Chris Byrne has a sneak peek of the toys that will be on the store shelves in the months ahead. Chris, good morning.
Good morning. Nice to be with you.
It's great to have you again. You're an old pro at these toy fairs.
It's my 23rd toy fair this year. It's opening today at the International Toy Center. Some great trends for fun for kids this year. Let me show you. This is from Blue Box. It's called Shoe Fairies. Now, it looks like a little glamorous slipper shoe. You open it up, and it's an entire world play set of mini dolls for little girls. It even comes with the little fairies that inhabit this world. It's going to be about $7.99 up to about $34.99. Really, really clever.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff here. Flowers.
You know, the mini dolls is such a big segment of the industry. Now, characters, of course, are always popular. Elmo this year is doing the chicken dance.
You know, the great thing about Elmo is he's always reinventing himself.
He's always being reinvented.
Yeah.
He's doing the chicken dance. Now, it's just silly. Kids love this. They see it, and they just start to...
Yeah, let's see if we can hear this. You know, when this happens at weddings, I usually run into
Yeah, me too. I'm hiding. But it's you know, this is for preschoolers, so they're not over it yet, so they're having a good time. Now, thanks, Elmo. One of the biggest trends this year is going to be battling tops. Believe it or not, they're about $6.99 and up. This is going to be the one that older kids are going to want. It's called Beyblade from Hasbro. Basically, you build the top, you customize it, give it a spin, and they start to battle. They do all kinds of great stuff. I don't do it very well, but teenagers in Japan have been collecting them, all kinds of things.
This is another one, a different version.
For preschoolers, younger kids, these are called spinners. They're from Sport Fun. Give it and you'd put two in this arrangement, and they would actually battle each other. You customize them with these rings, so it gives it different power, so it does things like that. Learning toys, always huge. This is iQuest from Leapfrog. This actually integrates with the computer. You can download curriculum from virtually every textbook used in the United States into this. Ask questions, do quizzes, do homework. Really a lot of fun.
What ages are that?
Middle school, fifth grade and up.
And how much is that?
It's going to be about $59.99.
It's not bad.
No, it's great. Accessories, fashion accessories for kids are really hot. This is called Jam and Jewels from Radica. You can see if you turn it on there. There you go.
Turn it on like this?
Turn it on, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
And you get great for wearing. Kids love to dance. It's music activated. Flying things are also really great from Toy Max. This is the Falcon. Check this out. Here we go. Watch out! There it goes. It's great. Radio control, $39.99. The better you get at it, and I'm not very good at it, that's a prototype, the better you'll be. Lots of great stuff for kids of all ages, actually.
It's a lot of great. Finally, tell me about this one.
This is really awesome. This is from DSI. It's their folding keyboard. It's an actual keyboard with all kinds of different features in it. It folds right up, fits in a backpack. Kids love taking that kind of stuff with them.
How much is this?
It's going to be about $49.99.
Well, on this note...
On that note,
Chris, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Coming up, Big Fat Liar, the new film starring Frankie Muniz. Jeffrey Lyons is going to have a preview.
And if you want to take your sweetheart away for Valentine's Day, we've got some great romantic destinations, from the reasonably priced to the luxurious. You're watching Sunday Today in New York.
If you want one...
Beautiful, far spacious sky, far amber waves of grain, sing a little bit here. America, oh how I love you, America. Well, you know, my God shed His grace on thee. Oh yes, He did. Did He crowned my good. He told me would save me brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Lord, yes, Jesus died. I want to thank you, Lord. Let me thank you, Lord.
At the movies, Big Fat Liar is the story of a high school student who has to tangle with some Hollywood big shots when they steal his idea for a new movie. Here's Jeffrey Lyons with his review.
What'd you go with? Dog get your homework?
No, Dad choked on a meatball.
You spent all night with him in the ER?
Yeah.
Teacher called the old man to confirm. You imitated his voice on the cell phone?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, listen and learn, short stack. Here's where you went wrong, okay? You should have forged the doctor's note, made your dad your sister, and changed the meatball into a chicken wing. It's much easier to swallow if you GMT, which means get my drift.
Frankie Muniz is the title player in the popular TV series Malcolm in the Middle, and he was so good in the touching movie My Dog Skip. Here he plays a Michigan middle schooler prone to fibbing a lot. He's written an essay called Big Fat Liar, but through a chance encounter with a hotshot, slick, and cruel Hollywood producer in town to film a movie, his whole life is turned upside down. Now, the producer's well played by Paul Giamatti, in real life the son of the late baseball commissioner and president of Yale, A. Bartlett Giamatti. This apple, however, has fallen a bit far from the tree. But several months later, the kid sees a promo for the producer's next film called Big Fat Liar and realized his idea for the movie has been stolen. So he and a gal pal fly to L.A., slip into the studio lot, and are determined to set things right and maybe teach the sleazy thief a lesson. Now, the kid's gal pal, played by Amanda Bynes, has the knack of talking valley speak to fool the producer's assistant.
Okay, so I was watching Charmed on the WB last night, and just as Alyssa Milano was about to put a spell on her cute demon boyfriend, I had the biggest panic attack that I forgot to give you Duncan's new address.
Really? I didn't know he moved. That was quick.
Oh, yeah, in a big way. He bought, like, the thickest pad in the 90210. We're talking Mondo box. Anywho, tell Mr. Wolf that Duncan lives at 867 North Maple Drive. Die, clown, die!
And coming up, honoring one of Harlem's own and one of the nation's best in today's Positively Black.
And then later, Jeffrey Lyons will be back to talk with actor Billy Bob Thornton about his role in Monsters Ball. There's Oscar buzz.
Those stories ahead, but first, Gabe Pressman with a commentary on former Mayor Giuliani's sometimes controversial personality.
Rudy Giuliani has a controlling personality. Many New Yorkers admired his strength and toughness. But now he wants to take charge of what history will say about him. And that's going too far. In one of the last days of his administration, he had his mayoral papers taken from City Hall and stored in a warehouse in Queens. Historian Mike Wallace, author of Gotham, and fellow historians and archivists have protested strongly and demanded the former mayor return the papers that are the historical record of his administration. As Wallace says, this is a city of laws, not of individuals. New Yorkers have a word for what Rudy Giuliani has tried to do: chutzpah. In his final days as mayor, he signs a contract, in effect, with himself, giving custody of the papers to a new private group he creates, the Rudolph W. Giuliani Center for Urban Affairs. The contract apparently gives Giuliani the authority to decide which papers belong to the public and which are private. A major archivist says if this is a democracy, a place of open government, then records must always be available to all the citizens at all times. Giuliani now says he might be willing to let the new administration decide which papers are public and which are private. Hardly enough. Let's stop tampering with records that belong to all the people. Let's leave the writing of history to the historians. This is Gabe Pressman.
On an all-new People's Court.
We just couldn't live together.
She broke more than the lease.
She snapped. She went berserk.
We just couldn't basically get along.
She went to the kitchen and broke every glass.
Judge Millian cuts to the chase.
Why is it I feel like a dentist, you know, pulling teeth from you? Did he cut you?
Yes, but that's not why I left.
The cutting you was okay, but the removing your stuff from the living room was, now he's gone too far. You're killing me!
On an all-new People's Court.
Monday at 10, only on NBC4.
It's a new year, and what we all need now is a new beginning. So we invite the world to come and start over in Jamaica, because on this blessed island, every day is a new beginning. One love. Come to Jamaica. One heart. Come to life.
Come to Jamaica and feel alright. If you will listen, then you will hear
big city music that plays in your ear.
Sounds like a subway, a concert crowd,
schoolyards with children all laughing out loud.
all of them heroes, so full of grace.
All different colors, one common face. I'm for New York. We're for New York. For the pride,
For the joy,
Hey world, are you watching? For the thrill of being #1. We're for New York.
Still ahead, we continue our series at the Met with a look at an African-American art celebration for Black History Month.
And one of Long Island's own goes for gold. Later on today in Salt Lake City, you'll meet him.
But for now, stay tuned for the Wall Street Journal report, and we'll see you back here in half an hour.